Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
We're in Hawaii. Me, Dano, Goy, we're into a poke bowl, right, trying to trim up. Sitting on a nice little park bench. Well, Maui, Hawaii. Yeah. And beautiful scene, beautiful day. And this guy's just in the background. I'd clocked him from, about 50 metres away. And he's walking around. He comes over and goes to the table. We're kind of looking up. He goes, I got a nice buzz on. I feel like I can talk to anybody. And we're like, fuck it. What was it? And then what did he say after that?
I got a nice little buzz on. I feel like I can talk to anybody. Well, I thought I could talk to anybody. But you. He was pointing at my glasses.
Yeah.
Son,
you got some nice glasses on there, son.
I was just going, fucking what? Swoop ended up spending 2 weeks with him.
What about the bloke at
Didn't pay for a thing.
Remember the before the you were playing, I think, 2015 when Wallabies were playing Chicago before the World Cup, and what did the bloke say about? He said Michael Hooper goes, Michael Hooper, you got nice flow, and then he offered you a fireball. He goes, I'll have a fireball with Swoop, and then I from the stands he just hands him a fireball and boom.
Is that where that came from? As in when we've been doing all the fireballs.
Correct. You played?
No, I didn't play.
Yeah,
because I was in fat camp.
He's like, hey, Drew. Hey, Coops. You want a fireball? Well, I'm like, no. He's like, maybe.
I was stinging so hard that day.
Sorry, mate, we can't do it. Well, I'll have a fireball. He goes, hey, Hoops. You got nice flow. Hoops out the field.
I went out the night before. We were drinking with the Chicago Bears in some club.
Oh, how good.
On this table, and I kind of overdid it a little bit. I was rooming with Goit, and he was prepping to play that day in a test, and I couldn't get out of bed. He had, for the pre-game meal, he had to bring me food back to the room because I was busted. Come good for the game kickoff time.
Of course, mate, you would. Classic Bivaroonie. Hey, the show started.
Has it?
Yeah, if you've just tuned in and you're going, what is this? That's it. You just saw it. These blokes have nailed it. Just chatting some old footy yarns. We are the magical kingdom of kickoffs and kick-ons, the KOKO Show. It's a show filled with three of the finest princes ever to don the green and gold. So, welcome, your Royal Highnesses.
Yeah, there's a real theme here today.
Yeah, I went to a play yesterday, like a pantomime, and it was all about royal kingdoms and stuff, and I'm bereft of ideas these days, so I just stole it. This week on the potty, Swoop is back. Fresh off crushing it on the links in New Zealand. He returns to us, ready and primed to do the job he's meant to do every week. So thanks for coming in, Swoop.
And what's that job?
Showing up on the couch,
Gotcha.
chatting some footy, having a laugh. With your refreshed and renewed outlook, Swoop, I hope you can lead us as we take a look at the Super W Final, big Super W Final, the Superb Rugby. Round 9 was a killer. And finally, as the European season heads towards its climax, I want you to lead us, Swoop, as we chat to a man who we picked in our KOKO Lions squad, Scotsman Pierre Schoeman.
Oh, the Schoeman.
The Schoeman. He will be right here to talk all things Scotch and scrums. So if you like that, make sure you stick around. All that and plenty more on the KOKO Show.
That's great intro, James.
Yeah, good. Well done.
You, mate. If this
Strong
was
You practiced that.
No. I think I'm starting to get it.
Oh, yeah.
How many of these have we done?
Oh, over 40 odd?
Yeah, I think I'm starting.
Probably over 50. We got a count on that?
Tommy, give us a count.
How many eps have we done?
It's like 450.
Well, we've got to know that, mate. So when we hit milestones, we get a cake and all that sort of shit.
Oh, we should have had a cake, Tom.
Thanks.
He's looking it up. KOKO Learnings. Actually, let me bring him in. Sorry. Drew Mitchell, Adam Asher Cooper, and joining us from our nation's capital, Matt Giddo. How are you?
Fantastic. Lovely. Breathing in the winning air, the Raiders, the Brumbies. It's good down here.
We don't care about the Raiders. Just talk about the Brumbies, mate.
Oh, they both. It's just, we're a community down here, so we care about everything.
You go, 92 eps we've done, boys. But yeah, Canberra. Love it.
What are we doing?
Well, why aren't you here?
Well, we had a little bit of an emergency here. The missus, holidays and all that. There's a few things. Yeah. On another note, how do you like that chair? Do you prefer that one than the other one?
Look, in terms of the structure of it and the the placement. This is a much better chair. That one I find a little bit hard to sit. It's like quite deep, just kind of finding my position. Whereas this one, I like it.
You know what I'm finding different about it?
What's that?
Your sitting height. It's
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
You don't notice it with Gits because, you know what I mean? But
Oh, the eye line.
I'm feeling a little
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
you're looking up at me.
Yeah.
Well, you should, because I look
Can you
down at
kinda
you.
just- Can you just
I always look down when I
can
was
you
at
just
you.
sink back a bit?
No, I've got good posture.
Learnings from the weekend. Anything, life, love, rugby, whatever you've got. I'm coming to you first. Swoop. Sorry, mate. Tricked you, didn't I? I was looking the other way.
Aussie teams are killing it.
Yep.
What, Drew? 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the table.
Yep, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And the ladder looks like a bit of a ladder of old with the Crusaders up the top. So that's interesting. But yeah, just really enjoying how the Aussie teams are going at it.
Well, I learned, look, just a quick little health check. Had a bit of a blowout Thursday, Friday of last week, but still got some positive numbers today on the scale. So just got to get back on track. And other learnings, much like Canberra and the Canberra representatives, New South Wales, men's and women's, both win. How good.
I feel like
And I was live at both games. How good.
I feel like you've skimmed over that.
Well, we're going to get there.
We're
No, I'm
gonna
talking
dig
about
deep.
your diet.
Oh, right.
No, it's going to be a reveal. I'm just sort of like, we're not going
Yeah.
into too many numbers at the moment.
Let's go early.
No, mate.
Yeah, but
Always
also
go
Swoop, we did cover it last week in depth.
Oh.
I think
Yeah,
you're on the
you
17th.
dialed in
Yeah, I
for
was,
a
driving the ground on the 15th.
Were you on the 15th?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
right. You laid it up. I remember. Hey, Goit Learnings, you got anything from the weekend?
life learnings. I learned that parenting's pretty easy if you've just got 2 boys. So my missus went up to Sydney for a Gabby live dollhouse thing with my daughter. I had the 2 boys at home, swimming. Then we went, where we go? Went to sushi, went and watched a movie, Minecraft movie, which is pretty good. And the premium lounge, they had popcorn, ice cream,
Right, in the
work.
premium lounge.
No
These
fighting.
kids have never had anything other than turning left
Yeah.
and premium lounges.
Well, the thing is,
It's what
because
they
I-
deserve, though.
And
But
magnets.
if I wasn't with them, it's a different story.
Yeah, that's true. And what about a bit of Animal Planet? Do the kids watch Animal Planet?
No, at that stage they went and played a bit of Fortnite, and I did more of the Animal Planet.
Yeah.
J-Mac too, he was good.
Yeah, some good horse racing going on.
Oh,
over the
mate,
weekend.
I know. Hey, can I give a couple of learnings?
Yeah,
Hamilton Hawks, good club.
great club.
We went there
Oh,
on
I didn't bring my
Friday.
hat. Did you bring your hat?
That's in the car.
That's the
Oh, well
so I've got
done.
my
That
hat
helps.
on. So this is the Hamilton Hawks up there in the Newcastle region.
Yeah,
we had a lovely time up there on
North
Friday.
Central Coast.
As you like to say.
I
Swoop.
love that.
Didn't they hate that in the room?
Mate, what did I tell you on the balcony?
Yeah.
Always gets a reaction.
Yeah.
How good's the North Central Coast?
So Swoop Goit referred to us as being in the North Central Coast. They nearly turned on us. We won them back though.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Was a grind.
In those gold chairs?
We got them back. That was wonderful.
Well, we won them back just through taking the piss out of Darren Coleman.
yeah.
Second best coach in the room.
Darren Coleman was there, as in the ex-WARATAHS coach.
Yeah, right.
Thanks.
He wouldn't have had too many drinks, I'd imagine, knowing DC well.
I think he's on the mid-strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's drinking 4 times as many. So he's on the double strengths. That was good. My other learning is that Ali Williams is doing a great job
Yeah,
with Auckland FC.
yeah, great job.
So I went to the A-League on Saturday. I had great seats right where there's a couple of goals. That Auckland team is humming. They're on top of the table.
Wow.
And, I mean, sure, they're doing a few line-outs and stuff in the game, which is a bit weird, but he's got them playing really well. First time in the A-League comp, and they are on top.
Tell us
So-
what you're seeing there.
Fitness.
Oh,
I don't know if that's they run all day. It was pretty warm out there. And
Yeah, I think that's soccer.
right, that's just soccer.
Mm.
Okay, I thought that
What
might
else?
have been some sort of rugby thing. No, they weren't flopping around on the ground.
Oh, nice.
They were getting straight back up, which is, I mean, that's kind of an Aussie thing, but at the same time,
Well, I think also maybe the rugby influence from Ali is just saying get back up.
get
boys.
back up. Yeah, so no rolling around grabbing your ankles. It was
Good.
good time out there. So well done.
Rolling around
Alan.
grabbing your ankles. Sounds like Swoop's weekend.
Profo, has he got a stacked team? Like, has he taken what he learned at Toulon to put the money into the players and buy a comp?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's no stacked A-League team. Most of the people that can stack a team are in Europe.
Yeah,
But
right, okay.
I don't know. There was a big Dutchman at the back who was shouting a lot, which is what you need. But it is pretty amazing for a first season
Yeah.
out of the blocks for them.
Did
to be on
Ali
top.
arrive by helicopter?
I didn't see him. I was looking for him because I would have called out and pretended that I knew him.
He would have been in a corporate suite. Like, You can't get in them unless we're there. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And even then, I still struggle sometimes when you guys leave me behind, which happens a lot. Hey, there is a lot happening in the world of rugby.
So much.
I ran through this with you at the start. You said it's going to be boring. So we've got to find a fun way to do this. The TV rights deal with Rugby Australia. Exciting. 240 million over 5 years, a big increase on the last rights deal. I'm just bringing it up with you guys because I'm assuming Rugby Australia has called one of you because obviously they want to do a rights deal with us, considering how much promotion we do for the game.
Wondering how much is allocated towards the podcast.
Is there no one's called you, Swoop?
No.
No. Have anybody calling you?
I had a missed call from Phil Waugh, but that was a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
There's nothing in the contract but best endeavours.
We'll take that.
What does that mean?
Well, that's what's the free-to-air component of this contract.
Oh.
This broadcast rights deal.
Oh.
There's no well, that's from my understanding. There's no free-to-air component. It's all best endeavours.
Yeah. So best endeavours means if we can put it on, we will put it on.
Yeah, or if there's a game that warrants having that type of audience, then they'll put it on.
I personally reckon that we need to get. I know Super Rugby is all on subscription at the moment, but to get one free to wear, the product that we're seeing at the moment, I mean, I don't know how it works when they're trying to negotiate these deals, but it's been obviously this deal was going to be bigger than the previous one because we've got the British and Irish Lions, we've got the World Cup, then we've got the Women's World Cup. So, that was always going to be good. And I think bringing money into the game is always going to be great for Australian rugby. But I would love at least Super Rugby, one game a week, just on 9 or
9 now
or whatever, something. I just feel it's such a good product, and half of Australia probably don't look at rugby until the test season starts, whereas they've got the opportunity for that first half of the year to actually support and get to know the players before the test season starts.
Yeah, I mean, especially with so many different channels on 9 and the streaming platform as well. I don't see why there isn't space somewhere on there to have a free-to-air game. This is going to be a bit of a smoky, but I actually think there might be a bit of influence from one Peter V'landys. He obviously holds a lot of weight within Channel 9. They're the host broadcasters for the NRL. And, there was some at least rumours or talk in the press last year that he wasn't happy when the rugby, like the Bledisloe, for example, was getting big numbers and, it was sort of detracting from the rugby league numbers. So I think there might be some, maybe there is a little bit of influence from one Peter V'landys to make sure that the competitor in rugby union doesn't feature on the same broadcast platform or network that their competition does.
Might also point to currently 9 doesn't have a rugby league game on a Saturday. This new rights deal for the rugby league, they might be pushing to get something out of Super Saturday, so they're trying to keep that spot free for your old mate.
Maybe, yeah.
For the Landers, this is all we're just tossing stuff up here, Pete. So don't come after us. We know you.
Oh, you know what? If he comes after us, it's good for the pod. So come after us.
Yeah, come after us. Let me keep going. Rugby Australia could post a $50 million surplus by the end of the year. I'll bring that up, boys. Just wondering if any of you had a phone call. Did anybody?
I saw Phil Waugh on the weekend. He didn't mention anything.
No,
to me,
not to you.
I mean, he shook my hand, but it wasn't like a golden handshake.
Okay. That is exciting, though, after a year when Eddie basically spent all the money they had. What sort of black hole we're in? 80 million? Is that what it was?
I'm not sure. I don't have eyes on the books. But the way you read it there was an opportunity, again, to make 50. You're like...
Oh, yeah, could post.
You sell out the lines and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. That's what, there's all this chat about like the golden decade. It's an opportunity for a golden decade. And hopefully, I think Phil Waugh and his team are doing some, really good moves, but it's still an opportunity for a golden decade. We've just got to keep making the right moves to make sure that we make the most of this opportunity with all these big events coming.
Swoop, you agree?
I agree. I was just wondering whether you're talking about the podcast or Rugby Australia.
Well, Rugby Australia. Well, also us. There's great opportunities for us as well, but we've got to get back a house in order.
I need someone just to answer the calls. That's all. That's all we need. Yeah. If you want a job, give us a call. Oh, we've got no one to answer the call. Send us an email. info@shtn.com.au.
And that job is a volunteer job.
Yeah, there is no money. Finally, this is a good one, positive one. It has been reported that Les Kiss is working out with Queensland Rugby and Rugby Australia ways in which he could both coach Queensland and the Wallabies in 2026. A decision could be made close soon, reports Christy Doran.
I'd hate to say it, but I told you.
Please.
Oh, you said, did you?
Leon
You know
McDonald.
five people. You
Leon
know
McDonald.
five people.
Who else?
Every
Ronald
Kiwi.
McDonald.
well.
Leon McDonald.
I was
You were
well.
pushing
Well
for
done.
McDonald. You said as long as it's a Kiwi were your exact words.
Yeah,
You did.
Say that.
You did.
That's loose.
basically. Yeah,
Oh,
you
like-
for the Kiwis, Swoop. Seriously, stop it.
Pretty sure I was on Les Kiss from the beginning.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't remember. Goy.
I mean, look, it's not confirmed yet.
It may be. I remember Les Kiss getting mentioned, but I think I was at a luncheon, Drummoyne rugby lunch, with the great Laurie Fisher, and he doesn't know anymore. Big Lord, he doesn't know any more than us. But he was saying he'd imagine through experience that if Les Kiss was to get it, the biggest part to work out would be his coaching staff, as Les would want to take his crew with him. But the Reds obviously don't want to just give up as they're starting to progress and lift as a franchise. They don't want their whole team to go. So I think that's the part that needs working out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not confirmed yet, so there's probably still a few things to iron out. Whether he coaches Super Rugby next year, and if and how many of those coaching staff, assistant coaches from the Reds that he would take to the Wallabies if he was to be appointed. Stuart Lancaster's name also being thrown around, not just for the head coaching role, but also potentially an assistant. So there's still a fair bit to play out. But I think first and foremost, you tie up your head coach and then worry about where everything else falls after that.
Bit of a gap though there. Obviously, Schmitty ends at the end of the TRC, and then we've got what we call the spring tour up north. They call the
I
autumn.
think did Czech do that in 2015? So it's done. It's been done before.
And they just put an interim in.
No, there wouldn't be an interim. They just there'd be no.
There's no coach.
Well, I mean, I guess
Well, there's no super at that time.
there's no
so
super
maybe
during
he
the
could go.
rugby championship, and
Oh no, sorry, I was just reading. It said 2026, so he would just start earlier, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and then for the 2026 season, which he's been contracted as a coach for the Reds, then he goes maybe back to that. Is that what they'd be working out?
This is wonderful. That was
Confusing, yeah.
yeah. Other rugby news. It's a great segment. Glad I pushed it to the top.
Well done.
Thank you, mate. Rugby roundup. Let's talk some Super W and some Superb Rugby. Amazing stuff happened over the weekend. We have changed the format of how we do that. It's now talking points. We ask you blokes to toss up the big things to chat about. Who would like to go first? Somebody.
I was out there.
Beautiful.
North Sydney Oval.
Wonderful.
Saturday afternoon. Gorgeous day. I mean, it said 65% chance of rain. I dressed for that. It was like 30 degrees on the hill. So hot. And then Phil Wall came around. I said, mate, look, I like all this sort of theatre stuff, but are those pyrotechnics with the flamethrowers needed? Because it was burning me. It was so bloody hot. But it was actually a really good atmosphere out there. Both teams are really well supported. It's great to see all the men's WARATAHS boys are out there. They, like every one of them, were out there. All the Sevens girls are out there supporting, the Charlotte Catholic and then, their teammates playing in that as well. But I just thought the quality of the game, the WARATAHS women kicked on with it at the end. Desi Miller, player of the match. Maya Stewart was strong. She unfortunately got knocked out. And when I say unfortunate, because when you get knocked out, you can't party afterwards. On a GF, you don't want to get concussed.
Is it going to stop you though? GF.
Oh, it wouldn't stop me, but it stopped her because I spoke to her afterwards and she said, I'm pretty gutted. Can't go out.
Really?
I can't have a drink. I was like, have a couple. Yeah. But no, she's professional because I think the Wallaroos squad for Pac-4 is announced today or tomorrow, so it won't be in time for us to go through it on this pod, but very soon. So yeah, plenty. Look, it was actually a really good afternoon out there. Good footy. And like I said, the WARATAHS women just kicked on.
43-21, they got it done there. Georgina Fredericks, she scored a double. Eva Capani, she was great for the Reds.
She's so good.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
amazing.
she is good. She's great. Like not just obviously the tight five work, but around the park, she's got a turn of foot.
Oh, she's explosive.
Isn't she top try scorer, equal top try scorer?
Well, yeah, 6 tries in 3 games.
Yeah.
So, and that's a front rower running it in. Jeez, it's good
She
to watch.
did get a hat trick, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, right. Very, very good. Congrats to the Waratahs. Wallaroos, are we looking good, Drew? I mean, based on the form
look,
you're
it's
seeing
going to
there?
be interesting to see how they get the makeup of that squad. Obviously, a lot of the Sevens girls have also put their hands up. They haven't been playing too much. I think Charlotte's the only one that's sort of played the last 3-4 weeks, maybe. A few of the other girls played and then went across and did Hong Kong, Singapore. But they've got the Pac-4 competition coming up. That's in the build-up to the Women's Rugby World Cup afterwards over there in England. So they've got a little bit of time to work out what their team is and what makeup is, but at the same time, you kind of want to find a bit of rhythm beforehand.
What takes precedence for the girls, the Sevens girls putting their hand up?
Unfortunately, there's no real – I don't think there's any real clarity on that. I think it's like it's a bit of a tug-of-war between the Sevens and also the Wallaroos and the Super W and I don't know if there is necessarily like a hierarchy, so to speak. I think it's kind of, because the women were in competition to try and win the 7 series. So as an element of still trying to be available to win that, but at the same time try and get time in 15s to make the Wallaroos World Cup. So it was a fine balancing act, and now it's up to Jo Yap and her team to pick what's the best makeup of the squad. But good to have options.
Surely cash is king at the end of the day, isn't it? As to which team you play for, do you not? If you're
Look, also, I think I was talking to Quirky on the way back from Hong Kong, and she was saying that to stay in the top 3, you then get support from the Olympic Committee, maybe because it's still an Olympic sport. So there's a lot of pressure that they don't just give up 1 year and give 15s a crack. They've still got to look after their program and the funding. So it is, as Drew touched upon, it's a fine balancing act, but there's more elements at play there rather than just choosing if you want to play 15s or 7s this year.
Beautiful, Goit. Why don't you keep going there? Give me another takeaway, mate. What do you got?
My takeaway, what I got off the great man, Lord, this potentially, the way we're progressing, and especially, Brums, it didn't matter because they played an Australian team, but the Tahs getting it done, they played amazing. But this could be our first winningest season, as in the whole Australian franchises, winning more than they've lost since 2005.
Wow. What are the numbers on that?
When we had less teams. So I think as upsetting as it is for people in Melbourne and maybe the players that had their families and everything was settled, but we are way stronger and better with 4 teams and way more competitive with the 4 teams, I believe, than having 5.
Well, we, on this show, remember we did the graph, which was 22% 2 years ago, then 41% last year, and we said next year, 100%, I think we said. But we were tracking it that way.
Yeah.
So it's going really well. Your Brumbies, obviously, they got it done. Let me give you a little score here. Going into Suncorp to beat the Reds, pretty impressive. Amazing, 39-26. You obviously watched it. What are your takeaways from that?
I thought the first 20 minutes that the Brums just could not keep up with the Reds. They looked like the Reds were getting quick ball. They looked dangerous. Paisami, first try. Then the second, 14-0 anyway, it was. Then it's almost like they just went back to their tight game. And Bobby V, I thought Bobby Valentini was huge.
Bobby V
and Billy P.
Yeah, Billy P, he had a big game too. But I thought that really when they needed it to get back into that contest, Bobby V was huge. Andy Muirhead.
Andy M.
Andy M, yep, you're right. But also you had Tate M. It was his 100th as well.
Yeah.
But it was overshadowed by Andy M because he's from Canberra and everyone loves people from Canberra. So it was a good win and a big win. You could see the boys were pretty pumped.
Andy Muirhead is who we're saying, and Tate McDermott, just for people that aren't maybe the first time they're tuned. That's my job. I've got to give them the full names.
No, that's right.
This is a rugby podcast. We've got a rugby audience. They'll work it out.
No, we've got other people. There's people that just tune in. There's a big sailing mob that love us.
Right.
Yeah, there's cross-country skiers. They love us.
Yeah, they're all intelligent, those groups. They're just worried about the rugby league guys.
Yeah, there's a couple of those that still watch.
Patronising, mate.
My cousins.
I think the last time that we won, Brums won in this fashion was when me and Squeak had that little blow up when I was captain, Swoop.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's what I was going to ask.
I am the captain now.
Surely the Brums have won at Suncorp since. But what year was that? 2010?
2011, because we were having a bad year and Reds went on to win it that year, I think. They were flying. So it was a big win for us.
Can you tell us that story, Goit? Because we might try and sneak this vision in, Tommy, if we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll take 3.
You've Sidge. Hey, you've Sidge shot your checker, so you haven't
Anyone hear that one? Stephen Moore wanted to be nice to the Reds as a former Reds player. Gitto told him to shut up, I'm the captain. Well, he said more than that.
Let me just put it out there that me and Squeak are sweet now. And I copped a lot of shit afterwards. And we're sweet at the time. I think the week before, who do we play? It could have been maybe the Force or someone. I'm not sure who we played. We played someone the week before and I was captain. Squeak was obviously Wallaby captain, but I was chosen captain of the Brumbies. And he kept coming at my decisions when I said we go for points or we'll go for line out. He kept going, mate, why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? Just kept questioning it. And I'd had enough. I said, Squeak, fuck up. I said, just back me up. I'll make the decision. Let's talk about it. So throughout the week, we're talking about what we should do in these situations, these scenarios. Then it got to that game, and he questioned me earlier in the game. Anyway, I let it go. Then just before full time, we got a penalty and we're up by 5. Squeak just wanted me to kick it out, as in Stephen Moore just wanted me to kick it out. And he just kept going, kick it out, kick it out. And I'm like, I don't want to give the Reds any points. Like, fuck them, basically. If I get
because they would have got a losing bonus point.
Yeah, if you finish within 7.
So if I converted it, we win by 8. And it was full time. The only thing, if I hit the post and then, they went length of the field to score, then wouldn't have worked too well. But anyway, right in front of the ref's mic, I was like, fuck up, I'm the captain. And that's all anyone heard. And then from there, I just became this big, arrogant prick with responsibility, which is probably, there's a large element of truth in that. But in this case, I could defend it. Anyway, I kicked the goal. We won by 8. Then afterwards, me and Squeak spoke about it. And it was all good, all buried. But yeah.
Stephen Moore is Squeak.
Yeah.
That's right.
Were you playing, Swoop? Were you out there?
I was, yeah.
Do you remember the tension between the boys? Post?
Yeah, it was. Thought I had to get in the middle there at one stage. But, I mean, I just like the fact that Gits is, we had game 1. All we need to do is kick it out, right? And usually every team does that. But this bloke's like, no, you know what? Fuck these blokes. We're not giving them anything.
Yeah,
and you couldn't have hit it sweeter too. I'm thinking if this hits the post,
and
they go the length.
You reckon I was feeling?
But there was also people out there going, because Squeak used to play for Queensland, like he wanted to kind of give them, like that wouldn't have been in his mindset at all. Like he just would have said, get it out, game done, right? Like, but like people just sort of add different sort of storylines to it to make it sort of sound a bit more spicier. But Jesus, it was fun to watch.
But that's the loss that the Reds needed before they went into the finals. Yeah, they're going to win it.
Did you back then hate the Reds more than the Waratahs?
No. I hated them all pretty evenly. It didn't matter who you were playing. Even when I was at the Force, I hated the Brums the most because that's where my mates were.
Let's talk about the Tahs. 21-14, amazing win. Swoop, I reckon one of your takeaways is based on this.
Well, yeah. Is it the greatest try in Waratahs history or Super Rugby history? Rugby history?
That's what Shawnee Maloney said.
It was a bloody good try.
Yeah. Greatest try at the SFS.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be up there.
I mean, just everything about it. Like if you break it down, how they got the ball back. There was a defensive picture how there was like 6 guys just off post. They're all down, 3-point starts. Like they looked hungry. They looked ready. They looked engaged.
Yeah, they like repelled them for about 6 phases. Ball pops out and it goes in behind the in goal. And then they run the length. The way that Kellaway straightened it up, committed the defender, gives it to Joseph Suoli'i. He goes on the outside, back in. Like
there was a close shot and then it went to bird's eye view. But would have loved to have seen the Eagle cam earlier to that because it's just the way they kind of realigned the synergy around. Just it's the attacking mindset. You kind of can see through certain movements how ready they were, and it's attack from there.
I think it also shows the confidence they've built, and now it's starting to play out. Because it wasn't just that try. Joseph's try was really good. Like just there was 2 tries that were disallowed for the Waratahs. Like, but the makeup of those tries were good. I just feel like now their attack has really clicked. And going on to one of my takeaways as well is the way they defended. It was, I think there was 32 phases at one point. They repelled them. I do think, I'd have to admit, we're probably pretty lucky with Joseph Suoli'i being deemed in the tackle right at the end there for the last stoppage. It was definitely a knockdown. But, you take what you can get, and the game was done after that. But I just thought the way they defended for each other, worked off the ball, it just shows a lot about the character of a team and where they're heading.
Let me give you Suoli'i his numbers. 11 carries, 102 metres, 43 post-contact metres, 100% tackle success rate, 4 defenders beaten, and 1 try to cap it off. So are we officially saying, yes, he's worth the money? Now, was that a real moment where...
I think we always knew that he's a good footballer. I think I think also the amount of money was not necessarily about Joseph either. It was also about the state that we were in as a game at the time, whether we could afford to spend that much money on a guy that hasn't played the game in a number of years. But yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of upside, and there's always going to be upside with Joseph, and even little things that he says in the media, saying, if Rugby Australia are asking me to rest at any point through the rest of this Super Rugby season, he'll be having a stern word and putting his foot down, saying he doesn't want to. He just wants to play footy. And I think, when you've got a superstar like that could have a little week off here and there just to freshen up, but says, no, I'm committed to this. I want to get better, and to get better, I need to play footy. I think it's a good indication that, he's got he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Now, we've got our special guest joining us very shortly, so I'm just aware of that in about 5 minutes. Let me just run through the other scores quickly. Crusaders 31 defeated the Hurricanes 24. You also had the Blues.
That was
They
a
got
good
it
game.
done. Yeah, they got it
James
done.
O'Connor, huge.
Yeah.
He made a big difference.
Scored a try. Spoke to him afterwards, and he said normally running through two of the biggest boppers out in the field hasn't boded well for him in the past, but he managed to break through and score under the post. So
A nice little turn that
Yeah.
he made and ran under. Then the Blues 36 defeated Moana 17. Highlanders 43. They got it done against the Drua 20. Any other takeaways we want to hit
On the
here, boys?
Blues, I think
Yes.
they're a different team when Bowden Barrett's back and firing. Like, as in he's not nursing an injured hand or anything like it. When he's 100%, they're just a different team. Like they, I actually picked the Moana to win that weekend.
yeah,
The Blues just that first half, they just put that game to bed.
Can I give you just one last takeaway,
Yeah, please.
which is an exciting one for us Aussies? No Kiwi team has won in Australia this year.
You're kidding.
Wow.
Oh, don't jinx it, Prof.
Oh, well done,
Oh,
Prof.
what?
Touch wood.
Tommy wrote it.
Well done, Prof.
That's
It's all
Tom.
right. It's all right. If things go well this week, it's fine. If they don't, then it's
Oh, who's playing this week?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I've got it right here.
oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Mate, it's like calling the horse home with 200 to go.
Oh.
I hate you blokes.
Force Hurricanes
In Perth.
in Perth.
Off the back of a
they've
bye,
had a
that'd
week
be
off.
sweet.
Okay, that's
Actually,
the only
on
one.
the force, I've been doing Tizano's sleeping. I've been sleeping with my mouth tape
Of course you have.
for the last week.
Is it working?
Good. It's good. Really good.
Did you fall through any glass
the problem
tables?
is, like, if the kids come up and they talk to you, you can't speak. So your lips are together. So
Is
there's
it
nothing you
uncomfortable?
can
Do you
do.
wake up like in a panic that you need air or breathe?
Nah. I breathe through my nose normally, son. Like it, no, it's clear for me.
Well, what about how early do you put the tape on?
As I'm hitting the pillow,
You don't
say-
give Bianca a little smooch goodnight or anything, or?
Oh, listen, then the tape goes on after, like.
Yeah, right.
come
Okay.
on, you
No,
know.
I just meant like little, night, babe, love you.
Yeah.
She might be
Well,
into that.
You don't need your mouth open to kiss.
Yeah,
But I
and
know
it's-
what you're saying.
And she also, you're the little spoon anyway, so you can't kiss him. You're going back like that.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, we've reached halfway point. Oh, we're just past halfway point. I thought we'd just give you guys a chance to realign who you think's going to win, who's going to be in the final. If you've got any new decisions,
It's tough.
Still a long way out, Prof.
yeah, I like to do a little halfway.
I think an Aussie team's going to win. I heard it was paying juicy odds at the start of the
I
year.
still
too.
think it's going to be the Reds Waratahs.
Reds Waratahs. You still sticking with that?
Well, actually, Gort, you made a good point that your prediction at the start of the year saying Reds Waratah final. Maybe you got it right. It was just in the Super W.
I could go the double.
Oh,
Did I not say it was
Go
for the girls?
away.
no, you
It's
didn't
like-
say it was
right.
for the girls. Well, you didn't say it was for the guys either. You just said Reds and Waratahs.
You weren't wrong. Still time. Have you changing who you think's going to win? You still Brumbies?
Yeah, it's still Brums. I like the way they're tracking. I am really impressed with the Australian teams this year, though. Like I expected them to do well, but not as good as they're going at the moment. I think this back half of the year will be pretty tough, but I think Crusaders, they're faring a lot better than I thought this year too.
Yes, Crusaders and Chiefs still up the top there. Wooden Spooners, do you want to toss them up at the moment?
Actually, I saw the Chiefs boys after the game. Really good guys. I saw them at an establishment in Sydney and had a few beers with them. And honestly, really good fellas.
Did you
I
speak?
mean, obviously they just lost, and I spoke to a number of the guys. They all came up, said g'day, and actually a lot of them love the pod, and we're going to get a couple of the boys in the coming weeks onto the pod. But like really good fellas, given that they just got beaten and whatever, but they got together and had a few beers.
Oh,
And
good.
Did you just assume they'd be flogs, or
no,
'cause you're really surprised?
no, not that they'll be. No, I didn't think that they'd be flogs, but I also just like how forthcoming they were and coming up and saying g'day and all that sort of thing. I probably got me by surprise a little bit. I mean, when we used to hang out after the game, Gort, and you saw a former player, you go, "Oh fuck him, don't talk to him." So like,
Yeah,
I
but
just
he
thought,
wasn't Drew Mitchell.
Quickly, let me ask, who's your favourite? Who's your chief?
oh my chief, mate. Honestly, I think, and forgive me, bro, if I say this wrong, but Natoa Akoi, you know the second row, dreadlocks, got a good he's got good energy. I told him, I said, mate, you're coming on the pod, And we had a little photo together. Zooming in.
Look at that.
There we
I
go.
think he was the one that did the Black Panther jersey when it got
Yeah,
released.
he did. Yeah, look on his Insta. He's got with his kids as well. I think he's yeah. Anyway, really good fella. Had a chat for a little while, and yeah, he's going to be on the pod in the coming weeks.
Beautiful. Great work. Groundwork. Always doing work in the
That's
middle of the
what
night,
I'm
mate.
Even though I'm in this health kick, I just was doing my bit for the pod.
Obviously on the waters. Were you on the
Oh,
sparkling?
there was water in there.
Yeah, obviously.
Soda water and lime and one other ingredient.
Now, our special guest has joined. He's been listening.
Has he?
I believe so.
Oh, just sneaking in.
Big international guest for us guys, and a guy that is in our KOKO Lions.
He is now locked in lines.
Locked in
And
lines.
locked in early too.
Yeah.
Locked in early. Now, Pierre, before you jump in and say g'day, what we do on the show, Tom Erskine, our erstwhile producer, his one job is to write an introduction for the guests. Takes him 4 days. So hopefully this is a good one. Stand by. This week on the KOKO Show, we have a very special guest. Lads, strap in because today we've got a man on the pod who looks like he's just stepped off the set of Braveheart and straight into a rolling mall. Yes, he's built like a fridge, has a mullet that could win awards on its own, and has a face that only a mother could love. Born and bred in South Africa, where babies come out bench pressing 250 and eating biltong, now he proudly dons the thistle for Scotland. This fella has become a fan favourite, not just for his scrum-crushing power or quite feminine legs, but for the sheer chaos he brings on and off the field. He's the sort of bloke that will run through your drywall for fun and then spend the next couple of days helping you put it back together. To quote Gloria from the great movie Madagascar, we like them big and we like them chunky, and this fella ticks all those bloody boxes. So please, put your hands together for the fleet-footed front row, a beefcake with pound steak, a kiff oak that loves having a joke. It is the one and only Mr Pierre Schoeman.
Well, yes, Tommy, thanks for that introduction. Coops, Mitch, Guido, and Hugo, it's an honor to be here, lads.
Mate, just quickly, just through that introduction, did you just shot a flat white, like an extra large flat white? Show me your mug.
Because that's definitely not an
Yeah,
espresso
that's not an
mug.
espresso. That's got to be a flat white of some sort.
It is. It is. It's just far from the camera, but it's a flat white. No, it's a double espresso, look.
He just shot it. He says he's a big man, the old Schoeman.
Schoeman, set the scene for us, set the time and where you are and what sort of weather we're looking at over there.
Okay, so we had probably the best week of sunshine in Scotland. And we do believe that it rains so much. Today's rains, tomorrow's whiskey. However, we do focus on rugby, and it's now 7:10. We have a meeting in about an hour and a half. So after this, straight into the ice bath quickly, just to wake up. Like Tommy said, get the mullet curling. Maybe get the love handle frozen up so it looks like a lad before gym as well, and scrum conditioning. And then it's review and preview and crack on like all you guys would know.
I want to know, what degrees have you got that ice bath at? Because it would, most people would make it colder, but over there you probably have to heat it up, wouldn't you? Like, what do you look?
Well, even if you keep it in the garage, it's still like it'll be under 7 the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Consistently. Even when it's outside, like yesterday and the day before, it was actually good days. It was like 16, 17 degrees Celsius, which, like I said to you earlier, that's what folk put their aircon on cold in Pretoria or South Africa.
Mate, you also said there, today's rain is tomorrow's whiskey, and I love that term, but we'll get to the important stuff first and foremost. Mate, do you have a whiskey? You have a whiskey label?
Yeah. So me and Duhan van der Merwe.
Yeah, we know.
We've heard of him.
He's got a 6-pack on his back, but his legs is nothing to write home about.
Oh, yeah?
Skip legs day?
Oh,
I think all four of us has got him on the leg side of it.
yeah. Wow.
5 of us got him on the leg side of it. But yeah, he loves money and I love people. So we decided, why don't we add some,
Well, who
add
loves
some value
whiskey?
off.
Have you got a
Sure.
Have you got a little sample there for us to have a look at? Have you got the bottle there?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, one.
Yeah, get that.
Just don't look at my budgie smuggler.
Oh, he's in his budgies.
All right, just if you're listening, Pierre's just walked away from
Let's
the
all
camera.
have a guess of what size his budgies are.
Okay, that's a great shout.
Great shout.
All right, Scooey,
Get it up on screen.
let's have a look at the whiskey. Show us your scotch.
There we go. So
Alright.
it's quite cool. It's called Hirendine. So it's like a swallow that semi-migrates from South Africa to the UK,
Yeah.
almost like our story. And then it's a 12-year-old single malt from Speyside, so it's quite a flex. We didn't just want to put our names to it. We actually want to make a good whiskey, so we're proud of it. And it's a 12-year-old, so Duhan plays 11 and I play 1. Well, hopefully, most of the times I play 1.
Yeah, 11 plus 1. Nice. I like that.
Well, I'm looking forward to the bottle when you're both on the bench. That'll be a nice drop.
That'll be well aged.
We're actually working on a limited edition, so yeah, it's a 23 plus 17.
Yeah, what's that? That's 60.
Been waiting a while.
I was going to say, you've showed us your scotch. Can you show us your crotch now? Give us a look, give us a look at your budgie smugglers.
But I actually don't have them on. But I heard you guessing the sizes. So
okay,
can you go grab them?
Go get them on.
Go throw them on. We'll fill while you pop them on, if you want.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, for those of you listening, Pierre.
Let's all lock in while he can't hear. I'm going to go 44.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big
Swoop, what are you going?
46.
46. I'm going to go like a 38. I think he's tight around the hips.
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking, I got a pair of Josh Papali's ones, and he was a 38.
Yeah, they'd be about the same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go the same as you, so I'll go 40.
40. Okay.
Can I reassess?
Yeah, quick. You've got time.
46.
46. So what are we locking in?
I'm 44.
44, 46.
That's already
30. 30. Oh, no, I didn't get 38 and 44. Tommy, shout out a number.
42.
61. Tommy.
He might.
30. Tommy's going to 30. Where's him stuck? All right, he's come back. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Pierre's back at the camera.
Yeah. Told you it's tight. That is a tight rig.
Oh, mate, I want to go. I'm going to lock in 52 now.
Did he have a sock in there? All right, we have all taken a guess. Can you reveal the size of your budgie smugglers?
It's a 40.
Hey!
Oh, God.
Gits got it.
Gits got it.
Gits got it.
I know the big
It's still not Tongan Thor, but it's up there with the big boys. Over 40, you safe at the back.
Very good. Hey, quick one. Can we get the whiskey here? Can Aussies buy your whiskey, your scotch?
So it's actually cool. So on the off days, me and Dewey quite connect all over social. So we just reach out to people personally. So it's like, you guys know, in rugby, you have a lot of off hours, but you just knackered the whole time. So it's quite cool. We just try to use our personal connection. So we spoke to a guy. They're in charge of the duty free at the airport. So there's one at Sydney. And he said he can help us with like a year project. So hopefully we'll crack on with that. And then we'll export to South Africa and Australia and hopefully India as well.
Well, when you come out for the Lions tour, wink, wink, because you are in the KOKO Lions, we'll get into that in a sec. Bring a suitcase full. We'll put them here and we'll just sell them to people that we know. And that'll make a bit of cash for you.
That's a small deal. We're in for that.
Very good. So just to fill you in. So
also, sorry, mate, just really quickly, Pierre reached out to me on Instagram, about a week ago or so. And here I was thinking he was an arsehole because he hasn't replied to me. But then I looked at it before we went on air and I realised I didn't actually push the send part. I've got all the message written there. And I'm thinking, he hasn't even replied to me. But no, he's probably thinking I'm an arsehole because he hasn't.
Just hold it up so you can see that, Pierre, he has written it.
And
okay.
And you said that you referred to Dewey and Skewy, and I just thought, well, mate, if you need another investor, maybe Drewy, Dewey, and Skewy could go in together.
Well, you said it live now. I'm going to keep you accountable.
Okay, let me just work on getting some cash first, then I'll be in.
Drewy, we played Super Rugby for the Bulls ages ago in Australia. I think you guys all played, but you were at the hotel with your family, and I was just like a young guy coming through the ranks at the Bulls. It was still when Victor Matfield and Pierre Spies and all those guys were still there, Hoagie. And I saw you at the hotel, and we just didn't want to bother you. But you're also still looking young. I don't know what you three guys are doing, but your hairlines are still strong.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah, we're pretty strong, mate. You should have absolutely come up and said good day. My parents would have loved it.
He did say all you three.
I know. Scary, doesn't matter.
I want to know, Skewy, you want to talk us through, how did you end up in Edinburgh and playing for Scotland? You obviously were at the Bulls, proud South African, still got that thick accent, which I love. But how did you end up there?
Got a son myself, my wife. We're on a grandpa's farm in Volksrust. It's like a very farmy farm. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In South Africa, and we just got a DM from the manager, Matt Cornwall, and he just sent 3 figures for 3 years. Come to Edinburgh, us. And I was like, this is a scam. But I said to Carissa, like, let's pray, let's hope it's the truth. And I said, let's go. So we sold our house, we gave our dog to her mom, just not to miss us too much. And then 2 suitcases, we were like Vikings, burn the ships, we're going.
Wow.
And then we ended up in Edinburgh. And I genuinely, it's with the technology and the social media now, I thought it's like London with like 3 islands, like Wales, Ireland, and Edinburgh. I don't know. You know, you boys know, you watch a big European games, the Six Nations, but it's so Southern Hemisphere focused. And so we got here and just, I made a decision. I'm going to play for Scotland now, if I'm good enough. And I'm going to play for Edinburgh. So I still had to do 5 years because they just changed the residency rule. For me and Carissa, it's like a testimony and a miracle because of COVID, they postponed the rule with 1 year. So 1 year grace. So I'm the only test player probably in the world that it has affected. So I could have qualified in 3 years.
Oh, right.
I mean, I wish all my scams turned out that way. I may have been praying to the wrong God because my scams turned out a lot worse than what Pierre's has.
So I'm assuming you did more than, like, you obviously sent a message back. You didn't just go get a couple of suitcases. Was there a bit of back and forth, or did you literally just jump on a plane?
So at the time, there was quite a few South Africans playing in Sale at Sale Sharks. And John O'Ross was captain, and he was at the Bulls with me. So I also reached out to him, and he said they actually made me a better offer for 3 years. But me and Chris had just said, look, let's honor this Edinburgh and Scotland thing. We're going to make it work. And Cockers was the head coach. So for me, it was probably one of the best things for my career. You know, at the Bulls, we were always physical and stuff, but I was trying to run for the gaps and doing offloads and contact touch like what you boys should do. And then at Cockers, at Edinburgh, it was just front door, scrum, maul, get the shoulders down, get the nose on the boots, do the muddy, piggy, dirty work. So yeah, it was probably the best thing for my career, really. And we love all things Scotland now. Like we bought a house here, started a business on the side. My wife did a master's degree here, so we love it.
Well, pretty good timing for you because you just defeated the Bulls 34-28 on the weekend. I mean, surely you must have been giving it to your old club and your old teammates, were you? That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, and they're going bloody well. I know you boys watch him as well. And they still have that aura, like they're physical, they're like the king of the jungle mindset the whole time. So and you know, their bench was loaded with some Springboks as well. We as Edinburgh believe, you know, people believe Edinburgh is like this posh rugby. It's not. It's built on like resilience, like the Edinburgh Castle, to give you guys indication. It's the most survived fortress on the planet. So it's a place of people north of the wall, Game of Thrones vibe, in the cold, it's fighting, it's hard. So we want to showcase that more of who we are. And it's starting to pay dividends now.
Mate, I want to fucking play for Edinburgh right now after that little fire. Leading on to that, like playing against the Bulls, but also as playing for Scotland, what was it like the first time you played against the Springboks and you're singing the Scottish national anthem, but also hearing the South African national anthem? How did that, like, what emotions were you feeling then?
Yeah, that's a great question, which like probably you can't put it into words. It feels like I said, I played with Matt Gita all my time on Rugby 08 versus my brother. Then just before he wins, I pull out the cable and then I'm gone. It's bloody nose, it's sweat, it's torn clothes, broken nose, everything. But every seat's filled. You have a massive responsibility. And it almost became full circle. So I wrote down my goals. I don't know, maybe some of you guys do it, not getting too deep and philosophical, and I specifically said I will get a Springbok jersey, and I played them 3 times, and I've swapped jerseys. So even that I achieved as well with playing for Scotland.
Are you ticking goals?
Absolutely.
Skewy, are you with the anthems? Are you singing both or?
No, I'm not singing both. I'm just singing the Scotland anthem, and it's the most beautiful. In our high school, we used to sing "Oh Power of Offies." So when I got here, they said "Flower of Scotland," and I was like, "Oh, we sang it wrong." For the
words wrong. Was there anyone for you boys on that? Sorry, curious when I asked the fellas because I would often hum along. I kind of like you play the Kiwis a lot, and you play South Africa a lot. when you'd hear their one going, I'd find myself humming to them, like towards the back end of my career.
Yeah, you definitely get to know them. You kind of get to know it because you hear it so often. But it's also, some of the anthems you play against. And Scotland is one of the great ones as well. But like it's got a nice flow to it, and then you sort of pick it up and it's catchy, and all of a sudden you're like, shit. I mean, you don't sing it obviously audibly, but you definitely know it enough that you know where it's going and what notes are about to be hit, and with the crowd and everything like that. Like French is another example of that.
The Welsh national anthem is strong too. When they get to that I find myself getting up on my tippy toes for some reason, like just going with it.
But the whole stadiums go as well, right? I went to a game at Murrayfield, and when the way the crowd sings, it's top of the lungs as hard as they can.
But also the way they turn all the stadium lights out, like the theatre of it's also amazing. Like,
What
do they sing for the British and Irish Lions? Do they sing one?
I actually don't know.
I think it's something from The Lion King. I think they sing.
It's
a circle of life. Nope.
Sorry, Prof, just getting serious here for a moment.
Sorry, mate. Sorry about that.
No, I could just tell from the way you're talking about Scotland, it means a lot to you. Is the Lions something as well now that means as much to you, or something? It's obviously something you want to achieve from a rugby point of view, but actually feeling like belonging. It feels like you really belong with Scotland. Is the British and Irish Lions something as well that you feel, you want to play for because you're Scottish? Does that make sense?
It's an excellent question, and definitely, it's one of the things I've written on as a goal as well, and the track history is looking good. But no, it's something that I feel I belong to now. It's been a few Six Nations campaigns. You can only control the controllables, like you guys would know better than me. Guys in my position are going well, specifically Porter and Genji. But I do think I'll put my hand up there. All focus when it's due in camp for Scotland. All focus now for Edinburgh Club Rugby. But if you take that outside, man in the mirror moment in the evening, or when you're walking and you're by yourself, surely if that's not part of your goals, and you want to achieve that and belong to that and experience Australia, the tour, the physical, that's history and legacy, and you want to be part of that. So almost like no stone unturned from now on. And hopefully go to Australia.
Skewy, you've referred to your goals a few times, and the fact that you've ticked off a couple and you're potentially going to tick off more this year. Seems like you're a big goal setter. Is there a chance that perhaps you could send us a photo after this of your goals and just how many you've ticked off and how many you've got? Because we just want to ride you home, mate, and just sit there and back you to tick off bloody all of them.
I'll send it to you. Actually, I have a video of my mom that when I was in school and stuff, but there's some weird goals as well.
Oh, yeah? Weird's good. We love weird.
We love weird.
Well, you can tick off one today, mate. You've come on the KOKO Show. I know that was a big one. So,
well, getting the whiskey on the KOKO, that's
100%.
Can I ask you one? Obviously, Lions. We've been naming our Lions squads down here. You were named very early. We're tossing up the 37 names. Can I ask you, in the event you do make the Lions and you're starting there at prop and you're locking into the scrum, and if you're locking in with Dan Sheehan, how's that going to go? Just because we all saw in that World Cup, you two getting a bit of a tussle. Is there a chance the punch up in the scrum might be between two teammates?
Well, I think that'll just fuel the fight even more. Like the sun, things explode within and then boom, fire. Those are
We've asked all the Aussie boys that have come on our pod if there's anyone in the potential Lions squad that they hate and that they want to come up against. So now we're going to ask you, mate, is there any of these Australian guys that you really want to sink your teeth into and maybe bend their spine in the scrum?
I think maybe Angus Bell is a great lad, but on the pitch, you don't want him to gain too much meters in the carries.
Nice.
And he's a strong boy.
Yeah.
And Tupou, the big Tongan thought, he's going to be raging and hungry, and we know it.
Yeah. So he's hungry and you want to feed him.
Yeah. And I think maybe, if we go scrum off.
Yeah, nice. Get your hand on it. It's like a big rhino after an antelope or something.
Maybe get those sexy legs, just get a hard shoulder on them,
Hey, Skewy, we're getting close to the Lions, right? Surely these blokes are starting to get shoulder tapped. Or has there been any early conversations or phone calls from coaching staff? Is there any indication that you're there or thereabouts?
To be quite honest with you, we haven't heard anything. I know previously the blokes got like, say, 2 weeks post Six Nations, you get like your email, you in, and then you still wait for the official announcement. However, I think if you like part of the leader structure and stuff, you'll probably get a tap. But at this moment, nothing yet, mate. Like, to be quite honest, our forwards coach for Scotland, JD, he's the forwards coach. So, maybe phone him and say massive congrats. Hope to see you soon.
I reckon.
Well, that's one of the great traditions of the Lions, though, is you're getting that letter saying you have been selected, and like that'd be like a keepsake, I'd imagine. Like of the modern day technology, they still send out a letter to the players, and obviously they might find out another way, but just to kind of have that letter as something that you could potentially frame, and again a goal that you tick off. Like that's still it's what I love about rugby is the traditions, and they maintain those traditions, and that'd be a pretty cool thing to receive in the mail.
Yeah.
Did you get one of those, Swoop? Did you get a letter?
No, that's for the Lions.
Just the Lions. They don't do it for the Wallaroos as well. There you go.
Even Skewy's laughing at you.
Come on, I don't know. That might be something that gives the Lions a leg up. They're like running out going, we got the letters, boys. So maybe both sides need the letters.
I don't have a letterbox. So.
You don't have a letterbox? Have you got an address at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
What's this address, Julia?
Very good. Hey, there's a little game we like to play on here, Skewy. I'm just conscious of his time, our time, everybody's time. And it gets the boys going. It's called Start One, Bench One, Drop One. Now, you've seen and played against and watched these boys play their entire careers. You have to start one of these three boys. You have to bench one of them, and you have to drop one. Adam Ashley Cooper, Matt Giddo, and Drew Mitchell.
Okay. So I'll go start Adam Ashley Cooper. And I'll bench Drew Mitchell.
Yeah. He's like an arsehole, isn't he?
And then, obviously, we'll just have, Matt Giddo, part of like the off-field stuff.
Yeah, I'll run the I like that.
Clearly,
thanks,
didn't impress you that much on rugby away. I wouldn't select him either.
Well, he said playing with Giddo in Rugby 08 got him a broken nose from his brother. He probably got some trauma from Gits.
Yeah, no, that's not my fault. No, what?
Yep. He still plays for the Lions. So we played each other. He played for the Sharks, I for the Bulls, and now he played in Bath and I for Edinburgh. And then we played them a few times now in the URC. So he still plays for the South African Lions.
Yeah, nice.
Played them 2 weeks ago again. So I still have a bit of memories from the rugby.
Do you go as hard as you can on your brother?
I think I've lost the fear now. You know what I mean? At the start, it was like a great white lurking or like a crocodile in Australia. Just give you that eye, it's gone. But now it's a bit, I think I've got him now.
What was the moment? There's always a moment.
Yeah.
When you got
when you
him.
beat him the first time. When the lion takes over the top of the pride.
We were at a barbecue in South Africa, Bri. You guys would know.
Yeah.
And it's my uncle. He was in the army. So he was like, before barbecue, you go run a 5K jog. Otherwise, you won't play international rugby. And you're like, just want to chill and enjoy the barbecue as well. But he said, you're not going to get better. You want to achieve something, you have to do ball drills. Well, we have Coca-Cola and stuff. You're going to have that. You have to have water, tap water, get tough. And I think I ran a beast line at the side of the garden and just like dived like almost like a banner, with my plus size feminine body. And my uncle came to me and John, my brother, looked up like this, like a Lion King moment, and he just went, one day you will be stronger than your brother.
Oh,
and I was like,
wow, that's
so
cool.
And I took it in.
Yeah, wow. See, that was a moment.
Right
Yeah.
of passage.
Is that common that if you're young and you like rugby, you're not allowed to enjoy a braai? Like you've got to go run or scrum or push up. Like pretty common there.
So, yeah, brother. So that was, Uli Schmid, the hooker.
Mm.
He actually moved to Australia for a bit. I think he's still there. But that's his brother, Manneke Schmid. So he was like a parabat, like jump out of airplanes and in the front line. So we could have never, and my father just barbecued there every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't get away. Like he wants to, he's like, see this trophy room, come. And you do. But it's really competitive. Like,
Well, one other thing, just when you're fighting your brothers, I've got 2 older brothers, and we used to fight a little bit, but there was always just like an unspoken rule that you didn't punch each other in the head. Did you guys have that rule?
Not precisely like that. I think for me, no, I was like, anything goes just to survive.
Oh, wow.
We had like
Especially if you're the younger brother, though, you can't have that mentality of, gee, I'm not going to hit my older brother, like, because you're often getting flogged by your older brother, I reckon.
Exactly. No, exactly. And Duhan's the same. My rugby and business partner, his brother Akker played for the Bulls on the weekend now again. And he's also older, 2 or 3 years older than him. And I can still see because Duhan's bigger than Akker now, but when Akker walks into the room, Duhan almost goes into his shell. He's like, yes, sire.
That's like the power of Griggs and Larkham over Gits. When
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Gits, do you still do that?
Griggs, not Bernie. Like, Bernie, please. Leave me alone.
The other one we've been doing, I thought this would be interesting. We've been doing the deserted island one with 3 of his teammates. So obviously Duhan, maybe Finn Russell, and who? Hugh Jones or
somebody gets along with.
Who's your best mate in the Scotland
I reckon
setup, mate?
VP. Put VP Nell in there.
VP and Nell. Okay, we'll go those 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got VP and Nell, Finn Russell, and Duhan van der Merwe. And the scenario is, you're on a deserted island. You can send one home to safety on the canoe, only one. One stays there as a companion forever and a day, and the other person is for your nutrition. You kill them and you eat them.
Okay, so I'll send WP just out of a sign of respect. Otherwise, he takes the hole in the scrum again with his dog hearts. I'll send him straight on the first jet ski plane or whatever, just home. So that'll make him happy. And then I think I'll try to keep Finn as like a delicacy meal.
He'd have some good marbling.
Yeah, like a nice French delicacy, 5-star Michelin star meal, and then probably use Dewey's upper body for photos for safety, and then his lower limbs just for wood for the fire. Get the fire going.
Perfect.
That's a very, very good answer. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's early there, Skewy. Hold up that scotch one more time. Give it one last plug, because Aussies love booze.
Yeah, look,
just there you go in the camera
catch
there.
this in the international airport soon.
What's it called again?
Here and Dine. So it's from our Against the
Dine.
Grain brand. But we'll stock you guys. So
mate,
we'll
we'd
make
love
sure
that.
of it.
And we'd also love to have one with you when you're down here for the Lions, if you want to drop in as well.
Good deal.
Perfect.
Hey, that's as good as a contract. Tommy, write that down. He's
that's
on.
in.
It's
Very, very.
Mate, you're on fire today, bro.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, Skewy. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
mate.
Skewy.
Good luck with everything.
You legend. Cheers, lads.
Cheers, bro.
There you go. That was
Hey,
outstanding.
what a great fella.
What a legend.
Skoo.
Our run of
I
guests.
liked his analogy when he just told me nose to the boots, and we're just going to work. I'm going nose to the boots. I don't think I ever went nose to the boots.
Unless the only time I went nose to the boots is when someone's streaking away from you and do that little dive to try and tackle them from behind. You get the fucking boot right in your face.
What? Just unexpected. What a legend. We've had a good run of guests this year.
I want him back next week.
I want him back now.
Today's rain is tomorrow's whiskey.
Oh,
yeah. Love that bit.
Hopefully he sends us a crate of that stuff.
Yeah. And also just how he's dogmatic he is with his goal setting
And he knows his rugby history. All the top performers
Also,
over the past.
the bit about
Swoop starting.
the most fortified castle in the world in history.
I don't know. I had something to say with that. Like, I mean, I've been there a couple of times. Got in easy.
You just pay a little money at the front and they let you in.
It's not
I had
that
a bloke showing me
hard.
through.
Not that
The guy
hard,
took me.
Skewy. Jeez, he's really buying in.
Also, I think we've uncovered why South Africa's so good at rugby.
Oh.
They're having a barbecue. Go do 5Ks first. Was that happening to you blokes? when you were
No, I
playing?
just had to go to the fridge to get Dad's beer.
That's why they're friggin' winning all the time. Hey, we just chatted to him about the locked-in Lions. We have 5 more spots. I think last week we said we had 3. I accidentally missed 2
We
spots.
actually have 6.
We have 6 spots. That's correct, Drew. So there's 2 ways we can do here. I think we just do 2 lots of 3. You each pick 1 each, and then we'll do it twice.
3 again.
You happy with that?
Next week. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. Throw him up here. We're a little light on still in the forward pack.
Yeah, I've got a forward, and he's a smoky.
Tight 5 do we need, or what do we need?
Oh, we're going to go back to the coach's table, selectors table, and maybe work out how many of each position we have and need, and out of form we'll flick and bring in others. But I'm going to go with Smokey, and it's a bolter. And I know he's been spoken about, but I think Henry Pollock, honestly, he's form in the Six Nations, but also with Northampton. It's getting to the point where you just can't deny it. And I don't know, I just think someone like him, whether he plays test or if he's just the games against the state teams, I think Henry Pollock's going to be on that plane.
Very good. Nice work, Biv. Henry Pollock, congratulations. Book your ticket. They'll book it for you.
Just pack your bags.
Pack your bags. Thank you.
We've got 2 hookers on the board. I think they'll take 3 hookers. And so that's Jamie George.
Jamie George, back up. Oh, got a lot of experience, Swoop.
Yeah, good. Leaders might need it.
They'll need it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jamie. Pack your bags. Goit, who have you got for us?
Yeah, very smart, Swoop, going with a bit of experience, but I'm going to go. I feel like Faletau can't be the only Welshman in there. So I'm going Jack Morgan.
Ooh, I like that, Goit.
Yeah, I think everyone's obviously talking about him. It's just that he was in a pretty unfortunate side during the Six Nations, but he's been pretty consistent. He's been there or thereabouts. He's probably the one Welshman that most people are picking to make the touring squad. So, yeah, I'm going Jackie boy.
There you go.
Congratulations, Jack Morgan.
It's going to be a tough back row to pick, to be fair. We've got pretty much every option on the board, so we've picked it at some point, some combination of it. But I quite like our squad.
3 next week, boys, and then we will, the week after, I think we'll go through. We'll finalise our 37, and then you got to do the Wallabies. How many get picked for the Wallabies? Is it just 25?
No, it'd be 30-odd.
30-odd. All right, then we'll do our Wallabies, and then I guess we have to call Andy Farrell and we have to call Joe Schmidt. So we'll do that the following week.
We'll just get them both on.
And we'll just tell them the teams. Okay. Fantastic. What a great podcast. You guys are an inspiration.
And Goit, it must be close. When are you vasectomy?
Yeah, I know. He just keeps dangling it in front of me, pardon the pun, but it was supposed to be this Wednesday coming. It's now going to be the following Wednesday.
Pardon the pun again.
Oh, right.
He just keeps making me wait. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do it? I reckon.
Could you do it yourself?
Yeah, I've got relatives that can. My missus could come in and do it.
I think someone gave a vasectomy to himself. Google that. I'm pretty sure someone vasectomized themselves. I don't know if that's the word, but
I mean, what's the worst that happens if I don't do it right? I'm still booked in the following Wednesday anyway.
Yeah. Maybe swelling might be an issue.
You can find anything on YouTube. You can learn how to.
There you go. A Taiwanese plastic surgeon gave himself a vasectomy. I don't know what news I'm reading, but I'm on
Talk about
the money.
trust issues. You know what I mean? Like,
you're not. Give it here. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Give it here.
not touching this.
You'd do that, Prof, if you were a surgeon.
Well, you're on me today, mate.
No, I like it.
Oh, phone's ringing. Oh, God.
School pickup.
Yeah,
All
left the kid on the
up,
corner again. All right, hey, that was the show, Kickoffs and Kick-Ons. Thank you so much for joining us. KOKO is where you got to go.
Where you go.
KOKO, go. www.kickoffsandkickons.com. That's everything. That's website. That's merch. Tommy's getting some merch soon. Outside of that, at Kickoffs and Kick-Ons is all our Insta, YouTube, TikTok, etc. Anything else coming up, guys? We've got a few live shows and
so much coming up.
Yeah, there is. Let's get
just be prepared. Be prepared to turn up and have the night of your life.
Give us one, Drew.
KOKO!
I don't think you've hit one.
I get embarrassed with that now.
Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.